Every gardener dreams of that one perfect moment when you gently twist a fig off the ground and it almost melts in your hand. The skin slightly warm from the sun, the inside glistering like honey. That, my friends, is pure garden magic. Here's the truth. Most people never get figs like that. They get small, dry, disappointing fruit. And I used to be one of them. I'd wait all season long, care for the fig tree, and then tiny, flavorless fruit that dropped too early. I'd wonder, what am I missing? Until one year, everything changed. I learned that in order to get large, sweet, dripping with nectar figs, you have to grow them the way nature intended. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I did right here in the Melbourne garden so you can do it too. Because once you taste your true sun ripened fig, there's no going back. First of all, you need to understand the fig's rhythms because fig trees are wise. They don't rush, they follow rhythm, growth, rest, and reward. To get huge figs, you have to work with that rhythm, not against it. In early spring, my fig tree wakes slowly. The first buds appear, and I resist the urge to fertilize or water heavily. Why? Because early overwatering leads to fast, weak growth. All leaves, no fruit. Instead, I give it patience. I give it sunlight, warmth, and a little compost around the base. I wait until those tiny figlets, the breba crop, start showing before I act. That's my cue. And once the tree begins active growth, I feed it regularly but moderately, every 2 to 3 weeks with an organic fertilizer balanced in NPK. Not too much nitrogen, or you trade flavor for size. Remember this: the sweeter the fig, the slower the feed. Step 2 is to give it sun, space, and breath. If there's one thing figs hate, it's shade and suffocation. To get larger figs, figs need at least 8 hours of sunlight daily and air circulation around every branch. I learned this the hard way. My first fig tree was tucked behind a lemon tree. It barely produced. Once we moved to a full sun spot in the backyard, the difference was unbelievable. The leaves grew broad, the branches stretched strong, and the figs tripled in size. So if your tree is shaded, move it or even prune surrounding plants. Figs thrive when they feel free. And don't overcrowd the base with mulch or clutter. Figs like clean air and warmth around their roots, the secret weapon for bigger, juicier fruit. Step 3 is to master the prune. Less tree will always result in more fruit. If you're afraid to prune your fig tree, this is where you're losing your harvest. Figs love to produce fruit on new wood. So if your tree looks wild and overgrown with long untrimmed branches, you're actually producing next year's crops. Every winter, I go ahead and I prune my fig tree back hard. Yes, hard, leaving about 3 to 4 strong, mean branches. Then in spring, I pinch the tops of new shoots once they grow about 5 to 6 leaves. What this does is it encourages the plant to branch out and form more fruiting tips. And the result? Compact, sun-soaked growth that channels all of plant's energy into fruit, not foliage. So think of it like focus. When you trim distractions, you get better results. The same for the figs. Step 4 is to water deep, not often. What most gardeners go wrong. Figs are Mediterranean trees. They're born for dry summers and deep roots. They don't like shallow sips. They want deep drinks. I water my fig tree once a week, but I water deeply, letting the moisture reach the roots of a foot underground. Then I let it dry out slightly before the next watering. This trains the roots to grow deep, searching for moisture, anchoring the plant, and creating resilience during hot Melbourne days. If you water every day, the roots stay shallow and lazy, and your fruit stays small. So remember, deep roots will always equal bigger figs. Step 5 is to feed with intention and purpose. Sweetness starts in the soil. Figs are heavy feeders, but timing is everything. Too early will make them grow leaves, and too late, and they drop fruit. So here is my exact feeding cycle. In early spring, I go ahead and compost, and I also use warm castings for slow release nutrition. During early summer, using a liquid seaweed or fish emulsion every 2 weeks will encourage fruit set. And by mid to late summer, we add potassium-rich feedings like banana peel tea or wood ash. This really helps to boost sweetness and ripening. So here's my little secret that I swear by. Just as figs start to ripen, I stop watering for 5 days. This slight stress concentrates sugars inside the fruit, and within about a week, the figs start to swell, they start to darken, and they start to ooze the amber syrup when I touch them. And that is when I know that I've nailed it. Step 6 is to use nature's helpers, pollination as well as balance. Even though most modern fig trees are self-pollinating, nature still plays a role. Pollinators help with air circulation, and also beneficial insects control pests like scale and aphids. I plant flowers like lavender, marigold, nasturtiums nearby. They attract bees and predatory insects that protect the figs naturally. The more biodiverse your garden is, the healthier your fig tree is going to be. And a healthy tree doesn't just survive, it thrives. Step 7 is to mulch smart, not thick. Mulch helps to retain moisture, but with figs, less is more. I used a 2 to 3 inch layer of composted mulch or straw, just enough to keep the roots cool but not soggy. If mulch sits too thick, what that does is it locks in moisture, blocks in the air, and it causes root rot. And figs hate wet feet. When Melbourne's rain arrives, I gently pull back the mulch to let the soil breathe. Small details like this make a huge difference in fruit size and flavor. Step 8 is to harvest, and harvest in time. Don't rush nature. So here is where the real tricks begin. So when you see those figs turn color, you're tempted to pick them. Don't. A fig that looks ready probably isn't. Wait until it droops slightly at the neck and feels soft, not mushy and not too heavy. That's when the sugars are fully developed. I once harvested a batch too early. The taste was flat. Now I always wait until they nearly fall from my hand. That's extra patience. It's a difference between good and unforgettable figs. Every single year, my fig tree teaches me something new: patience, balance, and trusting the process. When I first started gardening, I was chasing quick results. Now I know the best things take time. Growing figs isn't just about getting big fruit, it's about slowing down, it's about connecting with the seasons, and it's about learning to nurture without forcing. So when you finally get hold of that perfect sun-warmed fig in your hands, just remember, it's not just fruit, it's proof that you've stayed consistent, patient, and curious. And if you follow these steps, feed with purpose, prune, water, and wait for nature's cues, your figs will reward you tenfold. So this is what gardening is all about. It's about patience, and it's about consistency and rewards as well. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care and all the best.